TTK, it's the topic of the moment, and I want to talk about it. And ultimately, for me, another important one is WHY. Why are they doing this? Why have they done this? Why did they launch it out in all the game types and only keep the way that we are used to in one? So many things confused me. Now, unlike a lot of the other community, I didn't just overly react at the very start. Oh my god, bring it back, it's so bad, Medic's unplayable. Spare me. Honestly, the game has not changed in such a dramatic fashion to have so many people upset right now. I'm disappointed, and before you guys are like, oh, why are you just wanting to be different? I don't like the new one, to be completely fair. I adjusted to it, I adapted, I'm okay with it, but it was definitely significantly more fun and enjoyable the previous way. That's what everybody wants, is the old TTK back, and I'm right there with you, right? Fist bump, let's go. But at the end of the day, the community has disappointed me by freaking out and complaining about SMGs and complaining about this, and the game doesn't work anymore, and insert generic excuse here. And I'm all about people complaining and stuff, but people just haven't had enough time to sit down, try, and digest the changes and play, because the changes are not that significant. Hell, you're only going to really feel any of these changes, and they're minuscule across extreme distances, range of 50 meters plus and whatnot. It's not that big a deal. I'm still dropping 80 bombs on Conquest with the MP28, and I just don't see where all these are coming from. But to get back on topic, the TTK in general. Now, I'm legitimately confused. So why do this in the first place? You've got a game that is riddled with bugs right now, and a lot of other things that the community has provided feedback for. So why are you allocating resources, manpower, time on changing something that the community is pretty much happy with? And just completely not investing time into things that actually need it? I don't know. This makes no sense to me. Again, I am completely at a loss for why is this happening. So I'm not mad. I'm just legitimately confused. I don't know. And then it leaves me to be like, isn't there a thing called the CTE for things like this? Why is this being pushed out, completely ninja launched on the whole community to just be released across all game types? Why the hell would you do this in the first place? And leave the one that we're used to over in timeout and regular one and give it a whole new thing and call it Conquest Core. What about the guys that like Grand Ops and, you know, Breakthrough? How about those guys? Huh? Their feelings? No? Okay. So, again, not upset about it, but really confused about this decision making. And ultimately, a lot of the community has dived into Reddit and other things to find out the reason for why they've done this, and a lot of people are feeling that they have decided to take this change to cater to casual players, new people to the game, and they felt like a lot of people were stepping away from the game because people were dying too fast. And I get this, you do die fast, but, you know, on the flip side, you kill fast too. No friggin' way. So, it's not like it's lopsided, it's just that so many of the casual players didn't have it in them to adapt to change, and I gotta be honest, the first time I played one of the alphas and betas, I was a little bit on the struggle bus, okay? Front seat. And I was like, okay, so I'm dying a lot, what's happening? And it's because I was playing it like I would an old Battlefield, confidently, carelessly, running around. And positioning is quite important in this game, and instead of just adapting and learning to play the game in the new curve, people are just quitting the game or complaining, and because of this is why we are where we are right now, why they changed the TTK. They felt like if people survive just a little bit longer, they might die slower, because that's all they've done. That's it. And other things they've mentioned were to address the TTD situations and the one frame bug, and as far as I know, that's still around. I haven't experienced it myself. Yeah, it's a unicorn to me, honestly. A lot of people complain about it, but I don't feel it. Generally, when I die and I get erased, it's because I got headshot. And headshots carry major weight in this game, and I really like that, honestly. So, what we're looking at here is just a bunch of confusion. The reasoning for doing this baffles me. The fact that they're casually going for this approach for the less skillful or the new people to their game, they're trying to appeal to them, and they're sacrificing the core Battlefield community to do so. So many of us have adjusted. We will continue to adjust, even if this TTK is permanent. But at the end of the day, why do this? Why alienate and possibly scare away a lot of your actual dedicated community? And, you know, just so much of this just reeks of derpiness. I have no clue. So, confusion is honestly my issue with this. I'm not upset, I'm not mad, you're not seeing me spam a bunch of devs trying to run at them. There are a lot of things at work here, and I truly expect this to be reverted back. I think this is going to roll back, and the community's not very happy with it. I want it the way it used to be, but I've also adjusted, and I have found that there are really no differences between my scores and my kills in the game. I've adjusted. I'm killing just as much as I used to as I am now with SMGs, with whatever gun. Insert this here. And most of them weren't affected too much. And the fact that they were supposed to do this to fix certain bugs and to fix the TTD, and that has still not necessarily been resolved, makes me think, hey, let's go back. Because there's less things to balance if we go back to how we were. We were pretty close to balance, honestly. There was far less things to tweak, therefore less resources to spend, and a quicker, more healthier game if we go back to how it was. They have a whole lot of things they need to tweak now. The G43, some other guns, and that's not a very healthy choice for your game just a month into its life cycle. And I'm not very happy and satisfied with where they've been with this one. And honestly, I'm there with you guys. I want it to go back, but a lot of this is just so disappointing to me. Now it's time to point my crosshairs at the community. Now, not all of you are guilty here before you get so defensive. Huh? Yeah? Holster it, soldier. So what I'm talking about is the whole reason we're in this predicament right now is because of constant complaints, badgering on Twitter, going all over Reddit, social media, and completely complaining about things is exactly why we are where we are right now. SMGs are so weak, and I don't know where to go with this. SMGs are close quarter weapons. They're supposed to be outclassed by ARs and medium and long range. They're supposed to take lots of bullets if you're going to even somewhat contest those at distance. And I'm seeing people complain about this. People were complaining about the TTK all the way dating back to the alpha and the beta, where they were trying to receive this and the community was so torn, and here we are. So honestly, a lot of this falls down to the community for the feedback they're offering, for the complaints they're delivering, for targeting developers. I actually have a few friends in DICE that have legitimately stepped away from Twitter because of all the harassment. And these guys have no influence on it. They're just standard dudes that build maps and paint booties. It's, you know, it's not their fault. So at the end of the day, people are just really rioting, they're complaining, and the community is being divided and torn back and forth, and our delivery is so off that these changes are going to keep happening. So what's likely to happen is, yes, this might roll back to the LTTK, but as long as we keep complaining about things without actually taking time to identify them and do some research on them, things are going to continue to escalate. And these changes, just like this, which make no sense to us, are going to continue to surface because we are just not being united on what we want. And, you know, we're all being torn in different ways, and they're seeing our information and they don't know what to do with it. And as they try to test new things like this, they're forced to roll it back, improve upon it. But all of this is still data that they're receiving. They know the community is upset about this. So what you need to do, if you were legitimately upset about this, you feel like you don't want to play the game anymore, you're super upset, you contact them, you get on forums, you yourself come together and discuss these things in a reasonable manner. Because the moment you start cursing at them, start spamming hashtags, not my TTK, targeting developers and stuff like this, is the moment that your complete opinion is removed. You could be 100% correct, right? You could be right there. You have the solution in your hands, and the passion is there, but if it's delivered wrong, it's going to go in one ear, right out the other. And that's how life works. That's how relationships work. If, you know, your girl starts arguing with you and she just randomly throws some stupid insult at you, she could be completely right about what she's talking about, but you're like, no, don't care. You called me a fucking console pleb. Can't do this anymore, babe. And that's just how it works. So this is just kind of an overall feeling about what's going on. Yes, I'm very disappointed in the change. I have no clue why it happened. I don't know why they executed it the way they did. I don't know when it's going back, if it's going back, and we're all lost and confused right now, and we're all lashing out in different ways at each other, at developers. And until we come together and we're precise in what we want, we're screwed. And that's my opinion on it. I don't like the fact that they're catering to casual players. That's not good. That is definitely not good. I don't like the fact that they've basically thrown a lot of the community under the bus by making these changes. None of this makes sense, but at the end of the day, this is where they're at. Hopefully we get some clarification and some transparency on what they're doing going forward, and everything will be a-okay. But either way, that's how I feel about it. Feel free to just plaster that comment section down below. Are you upset with the TTK? How do you feel about the TTK? Where would you like to see things change? Because honestly, I don't personally feel like this is all that bad. Do I like it this way? No. Things are a little slower. It's a little harder to pick off 2 or 3 guys really quick. Again, we are accustomed to playing a certain way. That's what you're used to. And, you know, to go back to something like this that's a little slower, that's an adjustment. People don't like adjustments or just random things being thrown in their life to completely mix things up. And this is the outcome. So, where do you stand? Thank you guys for listening. Hopefully you've absorbed some of what I've had to say and just can go forward trying to actually get your opinions out there in a more structured sort of foundation. And, you know, we all want this game to be good. We've had a taste of what it's like. We want it back. Give me some nibbles. Thanks again for everything, guys. I will see you with another video soon. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to leave a like, subscribe, and if you do subscribe, be sure to hit that little bell too, so you never miss a future Battlefield 5 video. Take care, guys.